Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture my trades as they play out live here. Real quick, what do I mean by live? What I mean is that this is not a situation where I've already recorded everything and now I'm coming back and doing some sort of post commentary or trade recap where I explain what's already happened. I am recording myself, seeing the data, seeing the information for the very first time in real time. So in other words, if you just want an unscripted, nitty gritty look into what it's like to be a day trader, how day trading can play out, you are going to get that here. So just keep that in mind. That's how it's all set up moving forward. So I'm going to go ahead and pause for now, and I'll see you back in a few minutes when the market officially opens. I'm going to be watching PLAN out of the opening gates and looking at that $70 number. So for those of you that maybe not very familiar with my screen, right there, PLAN is what I'm looking at. So like I said, we'll be watching $70. Looks like it could be an interesting area. But this one is also pretty spready right now. So the markets are open. This one is super big spread right now. And what's going on? Is it not really moving? Got an imbalance though right now. So let's let this thing try to get figured out. Again, I'm looking at that imbalance thing right there, that number. There we go, and that's gone. So working its way up towards 70. Does it want to break is the question. And I'm not really liking it. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and pause. Let's see what else is out there. All right, watching 277 here for a potential break. To the downside. But as of right now, this thing's just working its way back up. So maybe another never mind on this situation. I'm not very familiar with this one, so I'm just gonna gauge my unfamiliarity and just do 100 shares if it comes back down to 277. But as of now, it just keeps working its way up. So all right, well, never mind on this one for now at least. All right, watching 52.30 here. In there at 52.40. I don't know if this goes up over 53. I need to be out. Oh, need to be out. Well, that was fast. Thought this thing was getting ready to roll back over, and I was wrong and took the $445 loss there. And who knows, maybe it'll still come back down, but that happened very, very, very quickly. Well, you can, I've posted lots of videos where you can, make lots of money in small amounts of time. Well, right there, I just lost $446 in, let's see, 9 seconds. So there's the reality of the market right there. Like I said, might still come back down there, but at this point, can't risk it just, going straight up either. Oh, and now it's starting to come back down. So I want to try again at 52.40. I'm going to keep an eye on it. See if it wants to come back down. Yeah, 52.50-ish seems to be that key level. $52, $50, $53. Yeah, that's another 5. Yeah, I'm just doing the math in my head. Let's see what it wants to do. I'm going to get this alerted here. It's already been alerted. I missed it. Tried, but I missed. Was not fast enough. If you looked over here, you would have seen a white order show up. That remained white because I did not get filled. Well, yeah, in hindsight, shoulda, coulda, woulda, just held. I would have been okay. But at that time, it was just looking like it was just coming up. So, hey, it happens. Now the question becomes, is right around 51.75. Could this be an interesting area? But I also got to make sure that I'm not just all of a sudden kind of starting to force trades. But no, I know in hindsight, Clay, why don't you just hold? Why don't you give it a little bit more wiggle room? And I understand, yeah, in hindsight, I should have, absolutely. But that's the problem, is I don't have hindsight in doing these videos. Keep an eye on that. Trend line right there. But all right, I will go ahead and pause. Still nothing, and I'm pretty sure I'm done for the day. And I'm actually quite happy with myself, and just want to kind of explain why here and turn this into a little lesson, because it could have definitely been a worse day. And today's, and I don't want to come across as greedy or ungrateful, but you know, $400, let's just call it $50. $450 is something that not a big deal. I'll be fine. It's not like I blew up my account. For those of you that have watched past trade videos, you've seen me make well over $450 many times before. So it's not like this is some sort of, it's not like it's $4,000 or something like that. A $4,000 hole. All right, now we're talking about, okay, Clay, you really dug yourself into a mess here, but 450, I'll be okay. But the thing here, and like I said, sometimes things just, they're tricky, and something just didn't quite feel right with SAVA, and I was thinking of taking it short again right there. You can see, kind of hard, but it dropped down here, broke those lows. So at that point, I was, should I be hopping back in that trade? But I decided against it just because, this one just isn't quite behaving like you would normally expect it to behave. And like I said, the one thing I did right, very much so, and the one thing that feels great is that, yeah, those instincts, just watching, observing the chart, the level 2s were right. Because check that out. Fake break and then bonk, up it went. So it would have been another losing trade, which would have now, I'd be looking at now, again, would that mean I'd be in a $4,000 hole? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that sometimes just take the loss. And if it's just one trade, don't go out there and force anything, because as of now and what I'm seeing, there has not been any sort of quality setups where I'm willing to take that another trade. Because remember, once you have that first losing trade, you got to question, okay, if I take another losing trade, well then, my loss for the day just got even bigger. Now, of course, the flip side is, yeah, but I could go back green for the day. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't trade after a losing trade, but what I am saying is you better be extra picky. You better, be extra, confident in whatever you're looking. And like I said, the confidence, although the setup looked nice, the confidence just wasn't quite there, and rightfully so, because like I said, that would have been another losing trade as it went back upwards. So I am going to look around, and maybe this is an example of exactly what I'm talking about. There's something in my mind that's saying, Clay, just make another trade, at least chip away at the loss. But I'm aware of the voice that's showing up, so I'm certainly going to be very, very picky about any sort of trade I make. But maybe And realistically, I'm just going to call it a day. Walk away with my $450, realize that, hey, 450, it's not fun. Nobody wants to be losing money. But really, 450, like I said, and I don't say this in a, ungrateful and, greedy type of way, but 450 is not really that big of a deal from a trading perspective, right? Not saying that 450 doesn't matter. I'm just saying that from a trading perspective, from a strategy perspective, I'll be okay if I'm just in a quote unquote hole of $450, because like I said, that can, I don't want to say easily be taken away, but yeah, in some senses, easily be wiped away with a single trade. And for those of you that have watched past videos, you've seen me make, well over $450. But like I said, and look at, now it's just breaking upwards even more. So what a tricky one today. But I'll look around here just a little bit more, and if I see something that I'm highly confident in, that I really think the odds are in my favor, then maybe I'll take another trade. But I'm certainly at this point not looking to wipe away the loss. So if anything, it would probably be a scalp to maybe just put a little bit of a dent into the loss. But like I said, even if nothing shows up, so be it. I can live to fight another day. But I'll go ahead and pause for now and look around for just a little bit while longer. All right, well, I am calling it good. It is about 10:30, so an hour in, and it just kind of goes to show that how losses can kind of just wear on you and nag on you, because at the end of the day, like I just got done saying, now for you, I literally just said it, but for me, it's been about, we'll call it 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, I'm sitting here talking about, hey, I'll be okay, and somehow I just wanted to continue to watch the market. Now, in my defense, there were a couple of setups that were starting to take shape. One of them here being on RVLV, but then everything just kind of fell apart, and the setup that I thought was getting ready to take shape never really did. So it's not like I was sitting here trying to fit round pegs through square holes, but so it's not as bad as maybe what it seems. But it also just goes to show that it's amazing how losses can just play those games with your mind, and it is okay for the games to be played. Because as traders, you are a human. You're always going to have voices. You're always going to have attempted games being played with you. But the key here is that, do you at least recognize the games? Are you able to identify the games and then know how to handle them? Because that's really what trading is you're never going to be an emotionless trader. The goal is actually to be able to identify emotions and then know the solution on how to deal with them. And that's truly the secret to all this, because as nice as it would be to have zero emotions, and I get it, that's the slogan of the site, trade without emotion, which is the goal. But the way you trade actually without emotion is you still have emotions, but you identify the emotion, and then you're able to, ideally have a solution for it. And in this situation, I feel the emotions. I feel the nagging of the loss. Come on, Clay, at least get it down below 400. So at least let's get a $50 trade here. All those voices are there, but you just can't let that lead you into forcing some trade that's not actually there. And then the loss becomes even bigger than what it should. When you know that tomorrow is a new day, you'll have new setups, and everything will be okay within the bigger picture of things. So I'm going to call it good. And again, you've seen me post videos. I think maybe my record was $1,200 gain in 10 seconds. Well, here's 9 seconds, and I lost $450. So yeah, the gains can pile up very, very quickly. But the losses can also pile up quickly, and even quicklier, I don't know if that's a word, if you don't have risk control, if you don't have risk management. So you just got to live to fight another day. And SAVA, I don't know, over the past, well, I guess you can go back and look in the video archive, but I feel like I made a good $2,500, if not even more, on this one over the past several weeks. But today it actually got me for the 450. So SAVA, I'm still winning the war, but it definitely won the battle, and it is what it is. So before I go, though, a big request for me, especially from the transparency side of things, if you appreciate just me sharing losses, because it's not fun, and I get it, a lot of people don't necessarily do it, but if you just appreciate the fact that I'm showing a loss, I'm showing the vulnerabilities here, then hit that like button, leave a comment down below. And especially just in general with these live trade videos, they're not easy to make at all. I have to talk to you. I have to think about what I'm going to say to you. I have to think about my own trade plans. I have to make alerts in my private community. There's a ton going on. So the videos are possible. They're just not easy. So I just want to make sure that it continues to be worth the time and effort to do these. So if it is worth the time, if it is worth the effort to continue to do these, then like I said, you can communicate that to me by hitting the like button and leaving a basic comment, even if it's just saying hi, a thumbs up, a smiley face, any number of your choosing. But any of those things are a great way to illustrate the fact that you do enjoy these videos and you want me to keep making them. And as I watch RVLV here, it's all of a sudden coming back into play. I mean, that candle right there all of a sudden has things looking much more differently. So, all right, maybe. All right, well, I will pause just in case. Okay. Throw an order out there at 69.50 to short. But I will pause now just in case nothing comes up. I don't want to, spend any more of your time. But I will pause, and if it looks like I'm going to get filled, I will get the video rolling. All right, well, we have a perfect example of exactly what I was explaining earlier, where setups look like they might have been taking place, and then all of a sudden they just kind of fizzle out, and we have an example of that. Was starting to come to life, and all of a sudden has basically just pulled back and done nothing. So, all right, never mind. There's not going to be another trade. So it is what it is, down $450. Again, hit that like button and leave a comment down below if you enjoy these live trade videos, and appreciate that transparency. And I really do appreciate that feedback. But everybody take care. Have a good one. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.